And welcome back to the garage for one final time in 2025 for this episode, where I thought we'd do a little bit of reflection on how the year's gone and take a look ahead. So you've seen the videos all through the year, so how did it all wash up then, and what are the reflections for the year? Well, the year started early on in March at Cadwell Park. Cadwell Park, absolutely fantastic circuit, really suiting the midget in terms of the speed that you can carry through some of the corners. It was dry, which was always a bonus, and did well. 102 points to kick the season off, so that was really fantastic. We then moved to Kerborough in April. Kerborough, of course, doing the single lap in the first part of the year. Again, dry, got some really good times, another 102 points. So carrying on the fantastic start to the season. May, Scamond and Dam, got some record times there again. Dry, probably the driest I've ever seen that circuit. And from what people were saying, again, you know, running really fast. Another 102 points there. So the first half of the year wrapped up in June at Three Sisters. And I think of all the circuits after Kerborough, Three Sisters has got to be my second favourite. The twists, the turns, the tightness of it, really suiting the midget. You can throw it around, 12, 13 corners to go at as well, so a real roller coaster of an experience. So again, did really well at that, 102 points. So for the first 4 races of the season, absolutely top marks. Couldn't have hoped for a better start. Into the second half of the year then, and Prescott kicked us off. Never done Prescott before, really enjoyed that circuit. A lot of investment gone into that, really is a must-do on the circuit, I think. Didn't get the top marks there, but had a fantastic day there. That took us to August. Kerborough, again for the figure of 8, probably my favourite circuit of them all. Really enjoyed that. Dogged by weather and some timing issues. But overall came away with more points for the second half of the season. So that gets us to the double headers then. So Loughton Park in August, probably the highlight of the year in terms of the thrill seeking. So having complete brake failure on the Saturday twice, in fact, the highlight of which being the car going up on 2 wheels, which was an experience, shall we say. Day 2 much better though, got back into the routine and drift of it. Good weather for both days, really enjoyed that. Aintree in September, fast circuit, bit of a challenge. We had a car dropping a lot of oil in practice, so therefore that was a real mental challenge getting up to speed of that, but came away with top marks from that, so another good one. And then finishing the season in Harewood. Day 1 being probably the worst weather of the whole year. Some fairly heavy rain on the Saturday meant that the times were really nowhere near the target times. And then on the Sunday, back in the drift, dry circuit, so back with some good times to finish the year. 10 events then this year, meaning it was a real onslaught on the championship. Of course, the championship needing 8 events to qualify, so 2 bankers as it were, and as it happened I did need those probably and some more. 6 for a regional championship, that's the way the scoring works. So how did the season wash up? Well, the season was largely dominated by Group 3 this year, 2 midgets and a T-Series MG as well. So winning the championship with an impressive 813 points, Simon Jones in his debut season. Fantastic drives by Simon. It's been an absolute pleasure kind of fending him off and trying to take time out of Simon this year. I came second overall in the national championship. And then Dave Morris in the T-Series came in third with 805 points. Myself on 807, so that was a close run. Had to keep Dave honest through this year, indeed, as he was me. So some great banter in the paddock, some great results, and at the end of the year, what that means also is that Simon wins the national championship. I take the Northern Championship for the year. So part of that was receiving this fantastic cup. I finally found a use for the TR6 in the garage, so we've got a home for that now. So yeah, this was the outcome of this season. Really pleased with that. Really proud to have won yet again another regional championship, and hopefully we can continue that into the future. Reflections on the season then. Really good season. Did a few tracks not done before. Prescott, really highly recommended. Love the old school ones that we have done a lot. So the Kerbras, the Lowtons, the Harewoods. Aintree was a new circuit as well. So still some I haven't done, and there's some new ones coming on to the calendar next year. Mallory Park particularly is just down the road from me, so really want to try and get onto that one. As for the car, well, the Midget this year has been absolutely incredible. A little increase in power from changes to induction and the exhaust. So in terms of power, that was running really well. Having a limited slip diff in the back, massive difference, particularly on circuits like Three Sisters. So really enjoyed playing with that, feeling the back end give in a very, very kind of controllable and catchable way. And the difference going up to Group 3, of course, the big one is tyres. Having tyres that you can have a lower tread wear, so much higher grip, makes a massive difference. And has probably been the biggest challenge this year, getting the mental side of being able to go into corners far faster than what your brain says is allowable, has probably been the biggest learning curve this year. So in November we had the awards ceremony where the final prizes and awards were given, which really wraps up the season. But that got me thinking. What about all the other things that go on in the season? The banter in the pits, the facilities we all enjoy, the camaraderie that comes with the MG Car Club and all the Speed Championship competitors. It seems strange that we just make the awards based on a few points at the end of the year, and that's it, which got me thinking, why don't we recognise some of the people and the things that happen that you don't see so much in the season? Maybe give you a bit of a flavour of the important things for MG Speed Championship competitors. So here then is the MG Speed Championship Alternative Awards. I will say that these are absolutely not democratic awards. There has been absolutely no voting process, and they're not affiliated with the MG Car Club or the Speed Championship in any single way. But never mind, here goes. Welcome then to the annual Alternative MG Speed Championship Awards. We've got the Northern Awards, we've got the Southern Awards, now we've got an Alternative Awards, 11 prizes to give out today in a variety of categories. Good luck to everybody. The crowd have assembled.
Can we go yet?
No, the champagne is flowing and we're all ready to go. Okay, so in the first category we have the organisational awards. So the first prize goes to Best MG Car Club Speed Championship Coordinator. The winner this year, Paul Goodman. Congratulations, Paul. A fantastic job, as always, coordinating and organising the MG Car Club Speed Championship. The second award goes to Best Scoring Coordinator. This year's winner, Helen Waddington. Thank you, Helen, for all your work that you do coordinating all the scores after each event and the timely fashion in which they're put out. No mean feat doing all the maths that goes behind that. I think you need to be cleverer than Carol Vorderman in order to work that out year on year. It is very much appreciated. Thank you. The third award goes to the Best Speed Championship Promoter, Organiser, Ambassador. There can only be one winner for this year. That's David Coulthard. Thank you, David, for all the engagement and the organisation that you do making the Speed Championship happen. It'd be a far lonelier place without your input, support and drive that makes the whole thing work. Thank you. So now we get on to the Speed Championship itself and some of the more serious awards that tend to be a little bit more competitive. So the first award is for Most Photographed Car. There can, however, only be one winner for the Most Photographed Car, Indeed, at every Speed Championship event when this car turns up, there is a fleet of people looking to take photographs. I've even found myself having to move out of the way so people can get a better photograph of this car. It is, of course, the T-Series of David Morris. Beautiful looking car. Well done, David. Sticking with cars, the next award is a little bit more of a special one. This is for the most MGB front valances used in one season. It's not uncommon for cars to come back into the paddock with having had a little bit of a rub, shall we say, with the scenery, and might be missing a few key body parts. MGB valances in particular tend to be prone, but there is only one winner who seems to go through more than his fair share. So this year the winner is Paul Drake. Well done, Paul. So the final award in the car category is for most ambitious repair. Quite a few contenders this year for repairs that have been happening in the paddock, but the most ambitious by far is a head gasket replacement for an X-Pag T-Series car. So Jeff Marston, congratulations for even considering changing the head gasket on one of those cars at Lowton Park. Well done, Jeff. So we move on to the circuit awards. And when you're at the circuits, fantastic facilities in all of the circuits. But really there's only two things that really matter when you're at the circuit, and I think we should recognise what those are. So the first award in the circuit category goes to Best Bacon Sandwich. So after practice, the first thing we all do is head for the cafe, looking for a bacon sandwich, and this year there is only one cafe that we all look forward to, and I think they pipped the post with everybody else. So that is the Sprinters Rest at Kerborough. Well done, ladies. And sticking with the sustenance theme, the next prize in the circuit category is Best Cappuccino. Yep, to go with your bacon sandwich, you're going to need a coffee to wash that down and keep you alert with caffeine as you start your sprints. So the winner this year goes to what I think by far and away is the best cappuccino on the circuit, and that is the team Jojo Coffee at Harewood. Well done, team. So two more awards to represent what happens in the paddock. At the end of the day, there's only 4 minutes of racing in a whole day, so lots of standing around and lots of topics to talk about, everything from the torque of your wheel nuts through to world peace and world politics, of course. But this award is designed to recognise a very specialist area, and that is Best Financial Advice. So the winner of this is Neil Walmsley. Congratulations. Thank you, Neil, for the best financial advice offered in 2025. And to our final award then, the final award to recognise what happens in the paddock is for Best Cake. Yep, of course, while you're standing around, you're going to need snacks, sustenance and sugar to keep you going, and particularly in the Northern Championship, there can only be one winner of Best Cake. This person turns up diligently and always brings homemade cake to keep us all full and ready to race. So the winner of the 2025 Best Cake Award is Susan Watkinson. Thank you, Susan, for all the cake that you produced for us. Really appreciate it.
Do I get cake now?
No. So, hope you've enjoyed those special awards, and look forward to seeing you at next year's. So, what for 2026 then? Well, before we start, I need to get the car out of the trailer from where it's been in September with Harewood, give it a bit of a once over. There's a few little mechanical jobs, things that have worn loose, worn out, that need replacing and repairing. And at the same time, we've got to get ready for 2026. As they say, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So I'm not just going to turn up next year and do another 10 events. Life's quite busy at the moment, meaning that in theory there's time to reflect, step back a bit, get the car to where I want it to be, and then come back as strong as ever. So there's a few things I want to do to take me to the next level. The good news is the purchasing department here at MG Midget Birth of a Race Car has been quite busy and tapped into what's left of the 2025 budget and have bought a few bits and pieces. Also, Christmas is on the horizon and, well, you never know what Santa might bring. But looking around the garage so far, what have we got? We seem to have a bell housing here. There's a water pump up there. Oh, that's nice. A bit of shiny metal there. So a few bits and pieces to have a go at. Seems to be a bit of a gearbox appeared in the garage as well. So all that's going to keep me busy for a bit into 2026 before we start the circuit proper. Plenty more to come then in 2026. We're going to have some garage videos, getting lots of bits and pieces fitted, getting the MG ready for its next stage of life. Hopefully I'm going to try and get this out a little bit more. Got some road trips planned next year, so always enjoy a good road trip video. So let's see if we can get one or two of those done next year as well. Plenty to look forward to then as the channel continues. Once again, thank you for all your advice, comments, help. For those that make the trip to the sprints and come and say hello, it always makes my day to have a conversation and see how you're getting on, how you're enjoying the channel. It makes it all worth it. So plenty to look forward to. This is the last one then for 2025, in which case wish you a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. See you next year.